I ended up marrying my ex-wife, because we had another baby. We had the baby, right? We had the abortion, but then we had a baby. And she ended up telling me that the baby that was aborted wasn't mine. And so within that process, you are immediately married within a lie already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So the marriage was never the same after that, was it?
No, it was. This is at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? This is right at the beginning. And so within that process,
she probably should have kept that to herself.
And well, I'm glad she didn't. And so within that process, with that being known, it was just like, yo, and now I'm on TV. I'm still on TV. All this thing, and I don't have time to really process that. And she almost, with even in being, the pregnancy. She almost died within the pregnancy, so that was a hard time too.
Right.
And I remember some of the writers coming to the set, to the hospital, and they were like bringing presents, and I'm thinking like, oh yeah, cool, thank you. And then they were like, yo, when can you be back on set? And it was just
you see what I'm dealing with?
Yeah, we'll see what I'm dealing with. But no shout out to no shade to them. They were doing what they were told as far as a job to see if Kel can be back on set. And I was the one that ended up getting someone pregnant, around that time. But I'm just setting up so you understand what was really going on when we get to 2004. You know what I mean?
Yes.
In that process.
Kel is talking about some stuff that no one knew what was going on. His wife got pregnant by another man during their marriage, and he didn't even know about it. She had an abortion. He thought it was his, and they lost their child, or she decided to get rid of the child, and that child wasn't even his. But yet she got pregnant again. Was it really with him? Did he get a DNA test? Just imagine a woman that you put a ring on getting pregnant by a whole nother man. Come on now.
So and now knowing that this, the kid is mine, and then now leaving the show, on Nickelodeon. And then I had Mystery Man, this big show, and I'm thinking like, oh yeah, that's gonna be it. You know what I mean? And learning within that process too, where it was like, hey, well, no, I don't want to renew on all that Kenan and Kel. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And I already know what's going on as far as what's happening within this realm of what's going on with the show behind the scenes and what's going on with me. And I was just like, yo, I'm ready to leave anyway. And then Mystery Man didn't do as well as we thought it was going to. You know what I mean? As we thought it was going to do within that process. And then just navigating through that, now being a father. And here's the thing about it is that the reason I didn't have anybody relate to, because I was the first one out of the entire cast to be married, to have a house, have kids. And Kenan, Nick, none of them could relate to that. They were still being kids.
They still can't relate to the fact that his wife was cheating on him and getting pregnant by other men. He didn't have nobody to relate to on that part either.
And also, too, there was this process of, I got it all together. I already know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And that's what I was doing. You know what I mean? To me, it was like, I can handle this. I can handle this.
Right.
No.
You couldn't.
No, you can't handle this within the start part because you're really going through something that is really deep, and you need to let people know and let people know how you feel and let people know what's on your heart, what's really going on. But I kept it in and was like, I can handle this. Yeah.
You mentioned a lot of some of the kids, actors and actresses that you around. Life had gotten so overbearing that they didn't feel they could go on.
Yeah.
You mentioned Amanda Bynes, and you see her in conservatorship, and you see her dealing with her issues. How difficult is that for you, knowing what you went through and seeing her go through something very similar?
It's deep. I mean, when I was at the Sun Hotel in Canada, where I was going to end my life at that moment, on the other side of a balcony, Amanda was there. Amanda was shooting a show, a movie where she played a guy, that movie. And Kenan was in town too as well. We hadn't talked in a while. He was doing Snakes on a Plane.
Okay.
And no one knew that I was going through with my ex. We had very toxic relationship. You know what I mean? As you can imagine from the start of it all. You know what I mean?
It's hard to rebuild something after a lie.
Yeah, bro.
If it was founded on a lie, it's going to fall eventually.
Yeah, exactly. And it went from bad to worse, you know, with the things that were being revealed, you know. And it was a lot, you know. It was other times. She had gotten pregnant, other things, and it just got to a point.
She had gotten pregnant again?
Yeah.
While y'all were together?
Yeah.
And it wasn't you?
Not with me.
Oh, come on, Kel.
It wasn't me. It wasn't.
And you stuck around?
Yeah, I stuck around. But here's the thing. These were things that were being revealed, you know.
Oh, my God. She got pregnant again by another guy during their marriage, and he still stayed there? I wonder how old Kel was during all this was going on. I got to look up and see how old he is. But the fact that his wife was being a freaking Jezebel, being an around the way girl, just sleeping with Tom, Dick, and Harry, and completely dishonoring their marriage, disrespecting her husband, to have no shame whatsoever by allowing herself to get pregnant by multiple men. It's one thing if you step out of your marriage, but it's a whole nother thing when you have a baby outside your marriage, or at least get pregnant outside your marriage. And for a woman, it's even more egregious. Why? Because they control access to sex. They are the ones that say when sex happens and when it does not. And they are the ones to determine who gets born in this country. So you as a woman have no kind of respect for your husband. You are just allowing anybody who you want to come up inside your guts and literally get you pregnant during your freaking marriage. And then you got the audacity to try to put that baby on your husband, knowing good and damn well that's not his. I'm glad she's your ex-wife, but Jesus. Oh, man. Kel went through it. I mean, nobody knew this. That's crazy, man. Golly.
She telling you this.
No.
How do you find this out? I want to know how you found this out. You read a letter, you got to it through the phone?
Yeah, okay. All right, so how that one went,
Here we go.
there was a thing where we weren't having sex anymore, and we weren't doing anything anymore. Because
you weren't having sex. Clearly she was.
Yeah, it's just because of I knew what was going on.
Right.
And I was like, yo, what is even happening? You're not coming home. You're not doing all these different things.
And y'all man, she not coming home.
Yeah. But then this was, back then.
Yeah.
We praying for her now. It's all good.
Yeah.
But this is the process of what I was going through.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And so now as this is going on, there was a time, get some more soda.
Now I need something stronger than soda, Kel. You telling me that right here.
Go ahead, brother.
I mean, you had one, you aborted that, but that wasn't yours. She told you didn't know. You had one of your own, and
Yeah. Well, yeah. There was a situation where there was a guy, and I had a feeling, you know what I mean, that she was
Did you know him?
talking to somebody. It was one of her friends that used to come over, right? And, I was working a lot, you know what I mean? So it was one of those situations. And so I was...
So she had a guy friend that came over a lot, and then she's not coming home on some nights. She must have been cheating on Kel from the start, man. Oh, my Lord. Sometimes even a woman who you lay with every single night, the woman who you got on bended knee for, the woman who you said till death do us part, is allowing herself to get pregnant by multiple men, multiple different times. And during your marriage, oh my God, like, what would y'all do? Y'all let me know in the comment section. What would you do if your wife was not just cheating, but getting pregnant? I've been cheated on in my previous marriage. I know how that feels, especially when you don't really have an outlet to really express yourself, to talk about your troubles, to talk about what you're going through. And I see why this guy contemplated on jumping off of a balcony or whatever, because he was going through so much, and that probably hurt him the most. The woman that he loved was just crushing his soul time after time after time, and he's trying to be a good husband. He doesn't want to go through a divorce, because for a man, especially your first marriage, going through a divorce, it feels like a failure, which it is, but it just feels so different because you thought that this was your person for life. You thought that y'all were going to go the distance, but when you have to go through a divorce with someone who breaks your heart like that, it just does something to just crush your soul, man.
Was dropping off the kids, and didn't go to work, and you know how I go. And so one day I decided where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take the car and just kind of like go searching where she might be, because she ain't come home.
Where the hell she
and
at?
So I got in the whip, went driving around, saw her whip, looked different, and I saw it, and I said at the hotel, I was like, yo, okay, this is a car at the hotel. I go to the lobby, you know what I mean? I go walk into the lobby. Turns out dude just come walking down the lobby about to go to the car, my car, and then she was driving, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, okay, what's up? Take me upstairs. Let's go to the elevator, let's go together. You know what I mean? And he's like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I mean? And we go up, we don't need to fight, let's go.
Yeah.
Because I already know what it is.
Right.
Yeah,
so we go up,
over.
Of course she's surprised, within the room. And, we walk in, I walk in there and I'm just like, hey, okay, so this is what's going on. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? All right, and this is what you're doing? Okay, so, and I walk out, because I'm like, I'm not about to fight over someone that...
She already made a decision.
Yeah, you made your decision.
Yeah.
We done been through it.
Did she like come out and let me explain?
Yeah.
What did that explain?
Yeah.
Offer without explanation.
Explain. I'll go to the car. After I went to the car, then there was this... I was like, yo, I need to go back. And I went back because now I was like, well, I felt disrespected, so now I need to go do something. I'm going back, so then I'm going back up there. Cops came, everybody came up at that point. And I remember this cop told me, he said, hey, yo, I seen this type of woman, this situation. You need to get out of this situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You need to get out of this situation. Like a goofy, still stayed around. You know what I mean? We said we was trying to make it work for the kids. You know what I mean? Trying to make it work for the kids. But it just wasn't working out. You know what I mean? Trying to make it work. And she ended up getting pregnant by another guy. Now, how that situation happened was that I was at the hospital. She had a sickle cell trait. So she ended up...
Is this the third different guy that she had gotten pregnant by during their marriage? First guy, she got rid of the baby. Second guy, she got pregnant. I think she kept the baby or whatever. Yeah, the baby was born. Now she pregnant again by a third man with Kel's last name, Mitchell. Ooh. That show is a Jezebel. Oh, my God. To the definition.
I'm thinking it's that.
Mm-hmm.
We go in there and the doctor comes in and says, yeah, so you lost the baby. And I was just like, hey, yo, what? You lost the baby? And I'm like, oh, I know that's not mine. And so I lost the baby and I'm like, okay, so she was pregnant at that time. And this was just like, what was going on? You know what I mean? Within the relationship.
That was rough,
But then
bro.
it's also doing movies, doing TV shows, doing all these things as this is going on, not really telling anybody anything.
Right.
I wasn't telling my parents, telling my family what was going on.
Right.
So now all these situations are happening. And I get to the point where I'm at, 2004 up there. And the thing about it is that I would drink, to get out of such, emotional, all of this mind, because it was just kind of like, making people laugh and doing all these things, but then also this is going on too as well. You know what I mean? And so I got to the point where I'm about to do this, and the reason I did that was because I went to Canada to do this movie, and we had the relationship was just toxic at that point. So now I'm here, and I get a phone call, and she's this guy, that she wants to be with, and I was just like, okay, yeah, y'all need to be together. You know what I mean? Like, let's do this. But then I'm also dealing with the embarrassment of all of this situation. What's going on? I don't want people to know what I'm going through, all this situation. And I just felt like at that point it needs to be a reset button. Just because I looked at my parents and how beautiful their relationship was, and how this relationship was not being that at all, and how what I thought marriage would be wasn't that at all. And then even just the navigation of this industry as well and what was going on. And I just wanted to hit an off button at that point, and I felt like that was the answer.
Right.
I tell people, you know, I heard something tell me, hey, yo, Kel, get into a room, lock the door, and get off this balcony. I know that was God now. But at that time, I said it was a person, but I know it was God that told me to do that. And I did that and went and did work. And then from that, changing my life around, where it's to the point where now it's like really living life for me and understanding that. Yeah.
Kel, even though I'm...
Man, sometimes, guys, we bottle our emotions up so much that we sometimes explode on it. We act out of character on it. And Kel was about to act out of character. He was standing on a balcony looking down. He had the grace of God come over his life and speak to him at that very moment and say, look, you need to get down. You need to go back in there. Shut this balcony door, because I have much better plans for you ahead of life. Your life does not stop here. Get off this balcony, walk over there, because you have much more of a purpose than what I have for you, Kel. He got to that point because all this pressure on him in the acting industry, in the film industry, and then on top of that, he has no peace at home. He has all this chaos going home. His home is supposed to be his sanctuary, but his wife is out here sleeping with Tom, Dick, and Harry, getting pregnant by him. She's had 2 abortions. She had 1 child that was not his, or maybe a child that was his. It's crazy, but the fact that all this stuff was going on, and that this wife will not stop cheating. And Kel, he's trying to be a good husband. He's trying to stay there for the kids. That's probably the worst thing you could probably do, is to stay in a toxic household just for the kids. Honestly, it'd be better if he'd have got a divorce a long time ago, and they co-parent. He tries to get 50-50 custody or something, and at least the kids will have some kind of peace in one household. I don't know what will be going on in her household unless he can get full custody, but at least the kids would have some kind of peace knowing that mommy and daddy ain't together no more, but separately the kids will still love mommy and daddy, and there'll be some kind of peace. But to try to stay together in a toxic, crazy household with just a Jezebel cheating wife, that's just crazy to me. Anyway, man, y'all let me know what y'all think about this video. What do y'all think about Kel's story about his wife constantly cheating on him, getting pregnant 3 different times by 3 different men during their marriage? And it wasn't even from Kel. It was from whole other men outside the household. What do y'all think about this story? And Kel's redeeming the way that he came back from it. Instead of jumping off in that balcony, had the grace of God come over him and tell him to get down. And now he's living a much peaceful life. He has forgiven her. He is prayed up. He is blessed, and he is moving on with his life. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.